Thank you so much, and good morning, everyone. I'm Tracy Blender. I'm your worship associate today. Welcome to Pacific Unitarian, whatever we're going to be. I thought of collective. I don't know. Anyway, regardless, we're together, whatever you want to call us. This morning, this day, this opportunity to be together in community, which is a time of joy, comfort, sometimes challenges. That's what a relationship's about, right? This is a place where we can come to learn more about being human. We're on a journey to be open, accepting, tolerant congregation. It is a journey while we work to honor the inherent worth and dignity of all who enter here and those we have yet to meet, and perhaps even those who oppose our way of thinking. We're not here because we've figured it out or because we've got it right, but it's nice to have company on the journey.
Yeah.
I have a few announcements for you today. If this is your first time visiting us, we have lunch on the patio, and lunch is on us. We have a suggested donation of $5 for everyone else. Do you find that when someone's in the kitchen cooking, you just kind of want to hang around and feel like, you got a cutting board, I could help you chop and dice? Or are you one of those people who sees something on special at the store and you're like, I bet I could feed about 20 people with that if I just mixed it with XYZ, and your mind goes off? Or maybe you're one of these people who just sort of finds it meditative and wholesome to be in a kitchen because that's where so many memories are with the smells. If any of that rang true to you, the food ministry could use your hands, your help, your time, your energy, and your talent. 1 time, 10 times, every week, once a month, twice a year. So please let either Pastor Joshua or our Madam President, what's your name? Melissa Garcia.
Just call her Madam President.
Know that you have that in your heart and would like to share it. As well, have a look-see. We are just coming up. I'm telling you, look at the QR code in your program. So if you know how to use a QR code, would you please raise your hand right now? Would everybody who, keep your hands up, please. For everybody who does not know how to use a QR code, will you please turn around and look at somebody who you wouldn't mind admitting that to, who has their hand up? It's okay not to know. What's not okay is to not know and continue not knowing. Okay? So in there you can make your pledge. In there you can make your weekly contribution, should you not have dollars in your purse or pocket. And also now you can read the newsletter. Yay!
The front QR code, and this is the pledge QR code on the inside. This is the newsletter. Ooh, sorry.
So the pledge is on the outside.
No.
The pledge is on the inside. The newsletter is on the outside, and there we have that. Thank you. Also, Communities Child Services for Homeless Women and Children. We have a group every Monday who makes food for them and brings it to them. It's one of the wonderful ministries that we do, and they can use supplies kind of on the regular. And instead of kind of having a mishmash, so they're not giving everybody what it is that they need and making sure that they slide on the side of healthy, gift cards or something to purchase the supplies would be most welcome if that's a way that you want to participate in Communities Child donations. And Donna Trimmingham, what's up?
Gift cards to Smart and Final.
I did hear that. My parents used to call it fart and spinal, and so I have to take a
That's
minute
funny.
to make sure I don't screw it up. Okay.
I say that to my daughter.
You guys want me to move fast, that's what you get. And now I would like to bring up our esteemed board president, Melissa Garcia, and may I also take this opportunity to thank her for all the time, blood, sweat, and tears it takes to do that job.
She's tall. I have more announcements. Yay!
Yay!
A couple weeks ago, at the beginning of the Pledge Brides, I need help. Pledge Drive, I spoke about weddings and what your role is in a wedding and how much it is, what is your, when you go to a wedding, do you like to be part of the wedding party and be involved? And the more you're involved, the best experience you have. The more you're involved, the better time you have. Right? When you're there, you know what you're doing, and sometimes you just want to give money, and that's fine too. We'll accept that. But we have elections coming up. We also have, I haven't told anyone yet, but we have a committee fair coming up, hopefully. Well, more on that one later. We are trying to elect 3 new board members for next year's board. So if you are interested, you get to work with me, and I know that all of you want to work with me because I am a load of fun. So if you're interested, it's a 3-year commitment. You get to see how the church works. If you've been on it before and you're ready to jump back in again, that's great. And being on the board is a privilege and an honor because you are deciding the future, our present and our future of our church. So if you care about this place, you care about our community, the board is the place where you can really make those differences. It's the governing board, it's the administrative functioning outside of course, what Gabby does, because she does a million things. But it's a really great experience. You don't have to know what you're doing coming in. That's why having a 3-year run is important. You come in, you watch, we tell you to do a few things, and then the next year is kind of usually when you start to do more and more, and then by the 3rd year, you're help mentoring the new leaders of our church. So it's a really great experience, and there is a real reason why we do a 3-year appointment. Also, if you love numbers and details, the audit committee could use one more member, so if you're interested in that, let me know, or Margot, how do you say her last name? Meikle. I never knew how to say her name. Or Susan Owens know that you are interested. The audit committee is a committee that actually the congregation votes on. So if you are interested in it, we are having a vote January 15th. So we would need to know before June. I've had a head cold all week. I'm struggling. June 15th, we are having a congregational vote. So if you want to be on that committee, please let us know by June 1st. Food ministry, that was lovely and everything. I used to watch them cooking and wanting to help, and finally, I don't know, said the right thing, and all of a sudden I'm cooking all the time. We could also use someone who's interested. If you're not interested in actually cooking, we could use help on the food line, taking the donations, as well as administrative help, basically communication, just a few emails back and forth to set up our schedule. So if you don't want to actually be in the kitchen, but you still want to help, we do have something for you as well. Our religious exploration, we also are hoping we're going to get that running by fall, right? That we're going. We've got a great coming of age for next fall. These kids are really involved and wonderful, but we do need to get the full committee going again. Okay, that's the fun stuff. We have coming up a few dates. I will put this in writing for y'all. May 18th, after service, we are going to have the proposed budget review in our town hall. So if you want to know what our proposed budget is that you'll be voting for on June 15th, you come to that on May 18th. On June 1st, we've split them up for lots of just reasons nobody really wants to hear about. June 1st, we're having another meeting, another town hall. It's going to be on the rest of the ballot. We'll be presenting the prospective board members, as well as some bylaw changes that we're looking at. And I'm looking at quite a few of them. At this point, the ballot's about 4 pages long. So if you want to know what you'll be voting for on June 15th and to update where we are, how we do things, please come to that so that you have a better understanding of that. Of course, you will have that all in writing 2 weeks before the meeting. And then June 15th is our annual business meeting. That's it. Good morning. Enjoy our beautiful view, and we'll see you at the lunch tables.
A lot going on. The flame of our chalice is a symbol of the warmth and brightness of our connections. The flame lights our way back together again from separate lives, and it lights our way forward into community wherein there is promise and renewal.
Good morning, everybody. And may the 4th be with you. And thank you. I'm going to do the whole service as Darth Vader. Our opening words are from Audre Lorde, who wrote, "When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid." With that, let us worship together this morning. Please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 1058, "Be Ours a Religion."
Like sunshine goes everywhere, its temple, all space, its shrine, the good heart, its creed, all truth, its ritual works of love.
We're talking about perspective today, so Dr. Haven Perez will come up for a moment for all ages, reading a book called A Day with No Words, to get a different perspective on a day. By Tiffany Hammond.
All right, the gang is here today. All right. Good morning.
What do you do with an idea? Okay, sorry, wrong one.
Yes. One day, I had an idea. Where did it come from? Why is it here? I wondered, what do you do with an idea? At first, I didn't think much of it. It seemed kind of strange and fragile. I didn't know what to do with it, so I just walked away from it. I acted like it didn't belong to me. But it followed me. I worried that others would think, what would people say about my idea? I kept it to myself. I hid it away and didn't talk about it. I tried to act like everything was the same as it was before my idea showed up. But there was something magical about my idea. I had to admit, I felt better and happier when it was around. It wanted food. It wanted to play. Actually, it wanted a lot of attention. It grew bigger, and we became friends. I showed it to other people, even though I was afraid of what they would say. I was afraid that if people saw it, they would laugh at it. I was afraid they would think it was silly, and many of them did. They said it was no good. They said it was too weird. They said it was a waste of time and that it would never become anything. And at first I believed them. I actually thought about giving up on my idea. I almost listened to them. But then I realized, what do they really know? This is my idea, I thought. No one knows it like I do. It's okay if it's different and weird and maybe a little crazy. I decided to protect it, to care for it. I fed it good food. I worked with it. I played with it. But most of all, I gave it my attention. My idea grew and grew, and so did my love for it. I built it a new house, one with an open roof where it could look up at the stars, a place where it could be safe to dream. I liked being with my idea. It made me feel more alive, like I could do anything. It encouraged me to think big, and then to think bigger. It shared its secrets with me. It showed me how to walk on my hands, because, it said, it is good to have the ability to see things differently. I couldn't imagine my life without it. Then, one day, something amazing happened. My idea changed right before my very eyes. It spread its wings, took flight, and burst into the sky. I don't know how to describe it, but it went from being here to being everywhere. It wasn't just a part of me anymore. It was now a part of everything. And then I realized what you do with an idea, you change the world. Thank you.
Awesome, yay. Did you know ideas were shaped like eggs? Now a shade of love surrounds you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Well, now is still the time to share what is on your hearts. Either share it with us with words or light a candle. Something on your heart, a joy, a concern.
by wishing yourself happiness, peace, and freedom from suffering, as is said in the Buddhist metta prayer. We first wish for that for ourselves. And as you sink into that wish of happiness, peace, and freedom from suffering, as you become connected to that wish through your heart, through your spirit, send it out to your family, to your loved ones. We wish our family, our loved ones, peace. We wish them happiness and freedom from suffering. And now send it out to your neighbors, to those around you, to those in your community. We wish happiness. We wish peace and freedom from suffering. Send it out to people you've never met. Everyone in the world, even those you struggle with, those with whom you have contention. It's healing for us to wish them happiness, peace, and freedom from suffering. May we all have happiness, peace, and freedom from suffering. With that, we continue with our centering hymn, number 402, From You I Receive.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Beautiful harmony, Shana. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, forgot. I was going to pick someone to do the reading today, someone else, but next time, just be prepared. If you see me coming up to you, if you don't want to read, just sort of slink away. The reading today is from The Cosmic Perspective by Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of my favorite scientists and people. He writes, again and again across the centuries, cosmic discoveries have demoted our self-image. Earth, it was once assumed to be astronomically unique until astronomers learned that Earth is just another planet orbiting the sun. And then we presumed the sun was unique until we, of course, learned that the countless stars of the night sky are suns themselves. And then we presume, well, our galaxy has got to be unique. The Milky Way, it's the entire known universe. Until we established that the countless fuzzy things in the sky are other galaxies, dotting the landscape of our known universe. See, the cosmic perspective flows from fundamental knowledge. But it's more than just what you know. It's also about having the wisdom and the insight to apply that knowledge to assessing our place in the universe. And its attributes are clear. The cosmic perspective comes from the frontiers of science, yet it's not solely the province of the scientist. The cosmic perspective belongs to everybody. The cosmic perspective is humble. The cosmic perspective is spiritual. It's even redemptive, but not religious, he specifies. The cosmic perspective enables us to grasp in the same thought the large and the small. The cosmic perspective opens our minds to extraordinary ideas, but does not leave them so open that our brains spill out, making, not literally, I think, making us susceptible to believing that anything we're told. The cosmic perspective opens our eyes to our universe, to the universe, and not as a benevolent cradle designed to nurture life, but as a cold and a lonely and a hazardous place. The cosmic perspective shows Earth to be a mote, a speck, but a precious mote, and for the moment, the only home we have. The cosmic perspective finds beauty in the images of planets, of moons, of stars and nebulae, but also celebrates the laws of physics that shape them. The cosmic perspective enables us to see beyond our circumstances, allowing us to transcend the primal search for food, shelter, and sex. The cosmic perspective reminds us that in space, where there is no air, a flag will not wave, an indication that perhaps flag waving and space exploration do not mix. The cosmic perspective not only embraces our genetic kinship with all life on Earth, but also values our chemical kinship with any yet to be discovered life in the universe, as well as our atomic kinship with the universe ourself. At least once a week, if not once a day, we might each ponder what cosmic truths lie undiscovered before us, perhaps awaiting the arrival of a clever thinker, an ingenious experiment, or an innovative space mission to reveal those truths. We might further ponder how those discoveries may one day transform life on Earth. During our brief stay on planet Earth, we owe ourselves and our descendants the opportunity to explore, in part because it's fun to do, but there's a far nobler reason. The day our knowledge of the cosmos ceases to expand, we risk regressing to the childish view that the universe, figuratively and literally, revolves around us. And in that bleak world, arms-bearing, resource-hungry people and nations would be prone to act on their low-contracted prejudices. And that would be the last gasp of human enlightenment, until the rise of a visionary new culture that could once again embrace the cosmic perspective. Neil deGrasse Tyson. And now, we've added a new hymn to relieve this sort of weird transition between the reading and the sermon. So I'm calling it the responsive hymn, number 123. Please rise again in body or spirit, how you are able, for building bridges.
Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you. Will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Bridges between our divisions, building bridges bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Friends, we could make such sweet harmony.
When I ask, Alex, our AV tech, is going to put some words on the screen. And as soon as he does, I want you to read those words out loud phonetically, immediately. Like as soon as you see them, just read them out loud phonetically. I love you, I do. I love you too. The literal meaning of these words conveys there is an island of female sheeps where they use eyes as currency. The literal meaning. If you were to write that sentence, that's what you would write. But the stark different understandings of this phrase from a visual versus an oral perspective, I love you, I do, is just one example of the importance of perspective. We think we are fully in control of our brains, but our minds, they start deciphering things programmed by our life conditioning and our genetics before we intentionally start thinking. Our minds work before we intentionally start thinking, and that works in our favor most of the time. We were evolved to do that. Since the world is so fast-paced and we're getting so much information so quickly, we need to grasp things, like danger, for instance, quicker than the reaction time it takes for us to consciously consider things. However, it can also work to our detriment, as the example demonstrates. A simple matter of receiving input from homophones can mean the difference between letting someone know you love them and communicating to them that you are going to cut out their eyes to purchase some female sheeps. The importance of pausing and shifting perspective and re-examining cannot be underestimated. And perspective shifts can happen in all manner of ways. We can take in information with different senses, our ears, our eyes, our touch, our taste, like the example, taking in from different senses. Or we can literally and figuratively as well consider things from different angles, from different viewpoints, and opening up to new perspectives in order to take in new facts. We then recognize how our previously held understandings, as immovable as they sometimes are, can shift, and even and often shift dramatically. Even one different perspective. The thing that made me start considering the importance of perspective was a podcast that I was listening to in the car. As I drove, I felt fairly comfortable with my surroundings. Things made sense. I saw the cars, I saw the road, I saw the ambulance chasing lawyer billboards every 2 miles. They made sense to me. The podcast, however, prompted me to think about something in and of our world that is completely foreign to me. As I listened to the hosts talk about microbes, that a microbiologist named Karen, these are specific microbes they were talking about, a microbiologist named Karen Lloyd calls intraterrestrials. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. I had not. They are another form of life that I would venture few people know about, but they actually outnumber every other life form. And thinking about that, driving around, looking at everything I knew, my perspective on our world suddenly shifted dramatically. Intraterrestrials are microbes that live in the mud beneath the deepest depths of the oceans. They've actually gone down and collected mud from the deepest depths of the oceans and analyzed it. These microbes, scientists think, are likely millions of years old. And there's possibly close to as numerous as sands on the beach or stars in the sky. There are just countless of them. And they don't move because they are literally buried alive beneath countless years of sea dust, things like excrement from other sea life and tiny things that have died and fallen to the bottom. They use these things that fall down as their energy source. And it has been determined that because of that, they get what falls. They use less energy by significant degrees to stay alive than any other living thing. In fact, it is thought that these intraterrestrial microbes are going to be in a state of what is essentially hibernation. That's how they use less energy. They're going to be in that state until they will receive new energy sources. Just as a bear hibernates during the winter using stored food until summer returns, scientists speculate the end of the world as we know it might just be that catalyst that provides them new sources of energy and ends the hibernation of these microbes, awakening them into their own summer of renewal. That's the best they can guess. I imagine these billions of living organisms slowly feeding on ocean waste in a holding pattern for millennia beneath fathoms of seawater, patiently waiting our demise to provide the increased substance needed for their new lives. And this imagining just shifted my focus on the world. And it then led to me thinking about the millions, if not billions, of microorganisms, including bacteria and viruses, that await the food detritus in my own gut biome. I mean, they live in there. What a shift in perspective on the world. It was a surreal experience. And considering all these things all these completely alien, essentially, life forms living right alongside me and even within me, I felt like an alien in what might as well have been another universe. What's more, it came to me that none of these organisms cared about American politics or could even care about anything at all. They existed or they didn't exist. And they would remain long after MAGA is a distant memory, which is hopefully sooner than later. Although an example like this, or an example like the cosmic perspective of Neil deGrasse Tyson that was in the reading, these examples may or they may not be helpful in confronting the problems we face in our lifetimes. Sometimes they make us feel really small. But whether they're helpful or not, I'm sharing them to demonstrate just the incredible power of perspective shift. It illustrates how the act of shifting perspective itself, that act, dramatically increases knowledge. It increases awareness. It broadens understanding, and subsequently, as I'll show, broadens empathy as well. Alan Kay, the renowned computer scientist, famously said, "A change of perspective is worth 80 IQ points." In an article on Medium, the author Dawal Sharma expands on this idea that changing perspective is much more valuable than just purely raising one's IQ. We know IQ. IQ is more an analysis of like a computer-style learning. There's clear input and clear solution as an output. That's sort of what it analyzes. But life's inputs are seldom straightforward. They're seldom measurable or clear. And comprehensive solutions are incredibly elusive, if they even exist at all. So IQ isn't the greatest measure. Nonetheless, whether it's out of laziness, whether it's out of fear of being ridiculed or fear of failure or just the extra stress that we put on our brains to consider different perspectives, to consider alternatives, the human default seems to be to believe we know more than we do, and to look for the quickest and the easiest, seemingly correct answer to a problem. By working to shift perspective, it quickly becomes clear how complicated things truly are. And we are confronted, when we shift perspective, with all that we do not know. As Sharma puts it in that article on Medium again, a change in perspective that arises from an awareness of our limitations is more deeply rooted in reality and has a better chance of leading us closer to success. And he goes on to write, when we're willing to change our viewpoint, we open ourselves up to the possibility of stumbling upon a more accurate model of reality. However, the first step is to accept that our present understanding might be incomplete. A perspective is the sum of all our multiple intelligences, our social, our emotional, our psychological intelligences, some of which are even subconscious. And what this means is that when you see something differently, you're not just shooting in the dark, but bringing your entire experience to bear upon a situation. It is the whole you versus just the quantitative part of you. And that is why a change in perspective can often be worth a lot more than an increase in IQ points. Sorry, I had a little too much coffee, so my Tourettic tics are coming out more significantly. Okay. Biologically speaking, Naresh gave me regular. I think I asked for decaf. That's the problem. I've got to blame it on somebody. Sorry, Naresh, he's not here. So. Anyway, biologically speaking, Michael Platt, Vera Ludwig, Elizabeth Johnson, and Per Hugander, I hope I pronounced that right, they wrote an article for the journal at the Wharton School of Business that says, not only does this crucial skill of perspective taking provide us with additional information about complex situations, it also activates brain regions, scientific, linked with creativity and linked with innovation. When we're trying to solve a problem, the frontoparietal attention network activates. When we take the perspective, though, of another person, we engage a different network, often called the mentalizing or the theory of mind network. And that other area of our brain helps us understand what others know, what others want, what others need and find important. In addition, the theory of mind network, it partially overlaps with the so-called default mode network or exploration network, which is the part activated during exploration and during imagination and during innovation and thinking outside the box and engaging in mental time travel by thinking to the past or imagining possible futures. So when you shift perspective, you engage both of these mentalizing, the part that wants to know what somebody needs, and exploration networks, your imagination, your creativity. We are engaged with both what others need as well as our own imagination when we shift perspective. And with this understanding that shifting perspective is necessary to work toward better solutions to problems, I just want to give a few examples that are a little more directly relatable than those involving female sheep or microorganisms. In today's very divided society, it seems impossible to bring people on opposite sides of the divide together, back together. And indeed, it is likely impossible to do it completely. However, only by considering different perspectives can we even approach any common ground and work towards some sort of healing. We will never agree on many, if not most, things. But without perspective shifts, without taking perspective of somebody else's, thinking about somebody else's perspective, we will definitely miss even the small things on which we do agree that we might work on together. Another example is that most presumed societal conflicts, be it war versus peace, be it capitalism versus socialism, I guess, or many, many others, are imagined as pure binaries, one or the other. Considering them from multiple perspectives breaks the binary wide open to reveal complexities that must be recognized in order to work together toward some resolution. And I'm not saying that to say compromise your views or compromise what we need. I'm just saying fight for exactly what we need while considering others' perspectives. For an even more specific example, I'll conclude by reading excerpts from Malcolm X's letter from Mecca. Many people characterize Malcolm X as understandably angry, intransigent in his belief that black and white people cannot integrate, and convinced that violence is a necessary evil. However, after visiting Mecca, he wrote the following. He wrote, "For the past week, I have been utterly speechless and spellbound by the graciousness I see displayed all around me by people of all colors. There were tens of thousands of pilgrims from all over the world, and they were of all colors. They were from blue-eyed blondes to black-skinned Africans. But we were all participating in the same rituals, displaying a spirit of unity," and he writes, "brotherhood, that my experiences in America had led me to believe never could exist between the white and the non-white. And you may be shocked," he writes, "by these words coming from me. But on this pilgrimage, what I have seen and experienced has forced me to rearrange much of my thought patterns previously held and to toss aside some of my previous conclusions." He saw things from a different perspective, and it changed completely his own and what he knew and what he cared about. His visit to Mecca brought him into direct contact with different white people, as well as a culture and a religion that featured interracial cooperation. His new perspectives led to new knowledge, which in turn led to empathy and understanding, and changed his mind about racial relations, about the necessity of violence, and the possibility of interracial cooperation. So far from simply reading about, or by some other indirect route, considering another's views in order to consider new perspectives, it seems the best and the most beneficial ways to openly engage other perspective is, as Malcolm X did, to visit new places, to commune with other people that you normally don't, to visit new places with different cultures, to experience new ideas firsthand, to meet new people face to face, eye to eye, and heart to heart. I'll caution that part of shifting perspective is understanding that solutions are not simple or ever 100% effective. They never are. the best we can hope for is something better than what we have.